Cześć, witaj ponownie. Hi guys, welcome back to the platform. Welcome to today's video. So besties, today we are going to Krakow, okay, and say Polish food in Krakow, Poland, and Krakow first ever fast food plus traditional Polish milk bar. All right, so I am here to react about this particular video, and I'm reacting it from a channel called Chasing a Plate, Thomas and Shalini. I don't know if I say her name right. All right, let's dive into today's video. Before that, please do it to subscribe to the channel, like, share, and comment, and let's get started.
And we're here to get to the heart of the food culture.
By stunning architecture. It's absolutely beautiful. Now our first stop is actually just up ahead. We're here to eat one of the most popular street foods in Poland. It's called a zapiekanka. It's essentially an open-faced sandwich loaded with toppings. Okay. And this place that we're going to is the original shop that invented this street food. So let's hop in and grab one. This is a tiny little hole-in-the-wall shop. It's been open since 1980 and they just sell the one thing, the zapiekanka. They're actually already pre-made and all she did was she grabbed it and popped it in the oven. It's in the oven right now toasting up. We ordered the original, so that's the mushrooms and cheese version. I can't wait to try this. It has a really interesting history. Whoa, pyszna. Dziękuję. Whoa, I'm so excited to eat this. Check it out. How good does this zapiekanka look? So it's essentially half a baguette, a very crusty baguette, and then it is loaded with sliced mushrooms, topped with cheese, which is just melted into this gooey mess, and then she drizzled ketchup or tomato sauce over the top. And holy moly, it looks so good. I'm actually going to take a bite from this end right here where there's heaps of mushrooms and melted cheese. Mmm.
It's deep.
Mmm. 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 That is so good. So pyszna. Dziękuję. Wow, that is delicious. I'm loving the mushrooms and cheese combo. So that is the traditional combination. There's a really long mushroom picking tradition in Poland. That they're one of the biggest exporters of mushrooms in Europe, and so mushrooms make up a huge part of the cuisine here. And holy moly.
That crunchiness.
Mmm. Mmm. They're sliced super thin and have tons of flavor. That cheese is beautiful. It's just very oozy. It's got a lot of flavor. I think it might be Gouda. and then that tomato sauce. It's just super simple, but perfect. And that bread is so crusty. I'm so stoked that we came to the original Zapiekanka shop. So this shop opened in 1980, just as communism was starting to fall in Poland. And it was the first fast food shop in Krakow because at that time it was against the law to sell American style food. And eating these sandwiches was a way to fight the regime, and it became a symbol of freedom, the Zapiekanka. This is fantastic. I'm really enjoying it.
Wow, what a start to this video. That was amazing, and I love that we went to the original shop. So this is the place that invented that sandwich, and it is a sandwich that you'll find all over the city. So it's a very common street food and a very common sandwich, but that is the original shop, and I love how understated it is. So even though we're in the heart of the old town here, which is a very busy part of town, a lot of tourists as well, that is very undercover. There's no pictures, no real signage as to what it is except that name in Polish on the top. So if you didn't know what that was,
This place is awesome. It's very nostalgic. So it's got a whole red and white theme going on, tiled floors, plastic tablecloths. It's very quiet in here. But everyone is tucking into some really good looking meals. So we ordered up a ton of food because we're super hungry. Really traditional Polish dishes. This milk bar has a great feeling about it. It's very simple, basic. It's self-service, so you go up to the counter, you put in your order.
When she said milk bar, I thought maybe they were selling all this pastry like milk, cocoa, not knowing that they are selling actual food. You know, she said milk bar, so that was got into my head to be pastry foods. This is pretty interesting. The Zapiekanka, okay, like that is 1980, like that's pretty old, and the building is still standing. Like that's pretty old. The food looks so juicy. I think I have done a reaction about another couple eating this particular one. I don't know, I feel so, yes, because I've had the name before, because it rings the bell. Yeah, and the way they make the food in their own video is different from this one. Okay, that one looks more juicy than this particular one. This one looks pretty simple, but I love the crunchiness from the bread. When she bites that crunchiness is so awesome. Nice cheesy mushroom bread. All right guys, sorry about the background noise, so keep on watching.
Call out your dish, so you go up to the counter and pick it up, and it's got a great feeling about it. It feels like you've stepped back in time, and it's neat that you can come to Krakow and still experience this tradition. It's packed out with locals, so a ton of people tucking into some really great looking food. We ordered up a real feast, so real classic Polish dishes. This here is the soup, which is kapuzniak, so it's a sauerkraut soup, and you can see how thick it is. It is packed full of vegetables. This here is a dish that is very popular in Poland. It's called cutlet miloni, and it's essentially a minced meat breaded cutlet. Then we've got 2 scoops of mash, and then also some sauerkraut on the side. And this here is a pork schnitzel, and it comes with the same mashed potato and sauerkraut. And we're washing it all down with compote, which is essentially a stewed fruit water. I'm not sure what flavor this is, but this is going to go down a treat.
How good does this soup look? It looks super hearty. It's full of potatoes. I can see chunks of carrot, and you've got that bits of cabbage in there. So there's sauerkraut all through that.
Looking at the scenario,
Oh,
it's
that's so
mostly
good.
elderly people that comes here.
I got more of the cabbage that time. Oh, that is so hearty. So nice and piping hot. The potatoes just gives it a solid edge, and the sauerkraut. So you've got tanginess of the cabbage in there. Super hearty. It's so nice coming in out of the snow and the cold weather and eating something like that. Wow. We'll get a spoonful with as much sauerkraut as possible. So
Looking at it, it looks
fermented
like
cabbage,
cold
and that's
food.
why it's got that real
Cold.
tanginess to the soup. Oh, that is so delicious. It's really well salted as well. So, it's absolutely packed with flavor. I love that soup, and oh man, having a soup in this weather is perfect. And now onto this cutlet, which you can see starts with a huge pile of the sauerkraut. So what's in the soup? So this cabbage, fermented cabbage. It's got a few little bits of carrot in there, and looks like some caraway seeds. So the little dark seeds that are in there. So a big pile of kraut. You've got two big piles of mash with some fennel just cut over the top. So just a little bit of fennel on there, and then
Is it
this
fennel or
cutlet.
dill? I think that is
Look how
dill.
golden that looks, all nice and breaded, really golden. Let's cut into this cutlet and check it out inside. Oh, look at that.
thinking it was
Now we weren't
chicken.
sure what meat this was going to be, so that's
So it's
a
minced
pork
meat.
cutlet, so you can see pork and a few little onions in there
This
as
one is
well.
pork?
Oh, this cutlet looks so good, so we'll get a big chunk. I think the go here is combo, so getting that bit of that cutlet, a whole lot of that potato
Combo.
and the kraut, all in one. Oh. Oh, again, this is what it's all about with this cold weather.
Nice.
The snow is pouring down at the moment, and this hot, hearty food. Oh, that cutlet is so juicy. The pork meat. I'm diving in for more because it's
So
very
it's
good.
there.
It's super juicy. Oh. I love how it's crunchy on the outside, the cutlet, and then the meat is very juicy still, hasn't dried out at all. Again, incredibly well seasoned, so it's got a lot of flavor coming out. They've pulled the flavor out of the meat and the onions, a great sweetness from the onions. The potato, I mean mashed potato, with this type of meal is a match made in heaven. So they go together like just absolute, like bread and butter, like could not be better. And then the sauerkraut is very, very tangy. So you've got sort of three distinct things going on: the creamy potato, the nice juicy salty meat, and an incredibly tangy sauerkraut. It goes together so well. And let's have this compote that goes with the meal. Oh, there's a whole lot of berries in the bottom that I've just seen. Oh wow, it looks like it might be maybe blueberries, very hard to tell. Oh, just a nice sweet fruit juice. So very simple and goes really well with the food. Oh, and I'll see what those berries are when I get down there and I can see them properly. It's a bit dark, so I can't see them properly. How is this environment as well? I mean, even these plastic flowers on the table, it's red and white tablecloth, just locals coming in, enjoying this food, and I can see why, because man, the food is absolutely perfect. And this environment is special because it's so rare now when you've gone from having so many of these 40,000 restaurants down to 150. It's almost extinct, this type of eating. So it's really neat to be able to have this very traditional meal in this environment. I love it.
Let's crack into this schnitzel, so golden crusty crumb on the outside. I believe it's a pork schnitzel, look at that. Okay, combo it up like Thomas did as well, so tons of that mash and sauerkraut.
Crunchy.
That's beautiful. The crumb is very crispy and crunchy, very dry, so not oily at all. And the schnitzel, the pork schnitzel, is very thin, pounded super thin. Oh, this is amazing. I really love how it's very affordable as well. So this is pretty much the most affordable restaurant style food you can find in Krakow, and it totally hits the spot.
I've got to the bottom of the compote now, and yes, blueberries. So it's packed with blueberries. So this is essentially just stewed fruit water, I guess is a good way to say it. So it's sugar and fruit, and they stew that fruit to get this drink. But I love how they've kept all those blueberries in there. Oh, packed with flavor too. Oh, those are delicious. That is a very good drink.
So at these milk bars, it's
Wow,
clean up
they
after
clear
yourself.
their
So you take your dirty dishes to the clean up window.
Wow.
Dziękuję. That was such a great meal. Oh my gosh, and now the snow has stopped. It's blue sky again. Our tummies are full. We're ready for the next food. It's just gone 5 o'clock. It gets dark really early here in the winter time, but we're setting out for an early dinner because we've heard that this local family restaurant gets filled up really quickly. We're going for a massive meat feast. So a lot of traditional Polish food, but very meat heavy. I can't wait to get into it. We're just coming up to the restaurant here. Their mascot might give you an idea of what we're about to eat. Let's head inside. We just sat down at the last table. We're super lucky to get a spot, and this is such a cute little restaurant. So all wooden tables, there's some really lovely black and white photos on the wall, and we've just ordered a couple of beers. Now this restaurant specializes in golonka, which are pork knuckles, and we ordered a roasted pork knuckle. It's going to be a behemoth. The owner said it's 1.2 kilos worth, and I can see it actually being popped into the oven right now. It's going to be roasted in a wood-fired oven.
Wow, the oven is amazing. I've just been up there watching the pork knuckle going into the oven. Oh, here it comes. Wow. Oh, look at this. Dziękuję. Wow. This is a giant pork knuckle, which I've just watched go in the oven. So he moves it slowly under this huge flame in the very large brick oven.
That is
and
huge.
The crackle on that skin just started popping.
That is huge. That pork knuckle is huge. It's really, really huge. Are they going to finish this? The other restaurant they went to, it's so cozy. It's small. I see more of elderly people in that restaurant. Okay, the food looks quite interesting. I thought maybe it was chicken breasts that they were eating, not knowing that it was pork. The other one he ate, the man ate pork with grounded pork with other spices inside, and they fried it. That looks really juicy. I love the combination is always amazing. The combo was nice, and this pork they're about to eat looks so big and looks so amazing. Alright guys, keep on watching. I'm excited.
Popping instantly, and he just spun it around so that crackle is all around it. And look at this thing on the board. So a giant pork knuckle with the cutlery sticking out of it. We've got 2 huge pickles here. We've got some horseradish, we've got some mustard, and then some nice crusty bread to go with this.
The size of this golonka is unreal.
It's really
I just
giant.
want to see how heavy it is. Oh my gosh, this is a weighty beast. So this bad boy is actually cooked in beer first, and then it's finished off in the oven. So you get this really
Okay, so it's just
crispy
one.
crackle.
For
So can you hear that? It is so crispy, and I actually just want to carve into it to see how tender it is. So let's pick the spot here and just go for the carve. Oh my goodness!
Wow.
Whoa, 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 whoa! Look at that! The meat just falls apart. So that you've got that crispy crackle on the top, and it just gives way. I barely had to
See the
carve
inside.
it. The meat in there looks
Wow.
absolutely tender. There's the fat on the outside. Whoa. And then you've got, as Thomas mentioned, some really crusty bread. We've got the sauces that are going to cut through the richness of the meat and those humongous pickles. I'm really keen on getting a taste of this crackle. So what I'm going to do is just slice a bit of it off without any of that meat and just see how crispy this is. Holy moly, that is so good. You crunch into it and it's very light and crispy, and that sort of turns a little bit sticky in your teeth. The flavour of that pork is unreal. That is so good. Let's get a bite of this meat. So I want a bit of that fat, a lot of that meat, and I'm gonna just go straight in. Grab some mustard, or a whole ton of that. All right. That is insane.
I'm not a fan of mustard.
Wow, that meat is so rich, but it's got a beautiful flavor and it is tender as anything. It just collapsed in my mouth. I got the perfect bite of meat and fat, and it just amazing. It was really great with that mustard too. It sort of cut through the richness of it. These pickles, look at the size of these things. They're massive. Oh yeah, very sour and vinegary. I love a good pickle. This is the perfect accompaniment with this giant beast of a golonka, because you get vinegriness of the pickle, richness of the meat.
I loved watching this golonka getting cooked. I'm going to grab this bit here because it's got some nice fat on it, some skin, and that crackle. Look at that bubbly crackle. It was very neat watching it in the oven because it was very quickly popping up. So as soon as the flame hit it, almost, it just pop, exploded out, and then he'd turn it slightly, pop, it would explode out until he'd done 360 degrees of the pork knuckle and got all of that crackle just exploded all over it. Really neat to watch. And a flavor I love is horseradish. So look how much horseradish there is here. I'm going to take a huge lump of horseradish, dump it on the pork knuckle. I want some nice fatty but nice and juicy. Oh, heaps of horseradish on there. Oh. Oh, this is amazing. Man, that meat is so tender. Oh, so easy to eat, super juicy, and with that horseradish isn't too strong. Sometimes horseradish can be quite overpowering, but that's not. It's mashed very finely, so it's nice and creamy, and it's not completely burning my mouth, even though I had quite a large amount of that horseradish. Now, Sheena has been telling me how good this crackle is, so I need a nice crackly bit of skin. Wow. Oh man, that is a beautiful piece of crackle. It's very light because it's an almost instant crackle. It's not been in the oven for hours and hours, building that crackle up slowly, so you get that very dense, chewy with a real crisp, almost a crack, like cracking a piece of a biscuit, say. That's not like that. It's much softer. It's almost like a pork chip. So it's quite soft, it's nicely aerated, and then the skin underneath still has a little bit of chew going on. So that light crackle with the chew is the perfect combination. Now I want to try a piece with mustard, a thing that I love. I love mustard as an accompaniment, so a whole lot of that too. Wow. Oh, that is incredible too. Oh, it's very vinegary, the mustard, so it knocks through the fat in the pork. I think probably the horseradish for me was the winner after just one of each, but man, they were both good. And how perfect is this? So this 1.2 kilogram knuckle, served classic on the board with that cutlery shoved in it, and this huge mug of beer. Oh, it's a match made in heaven. Oh, cold beer, huge fatty pork knuckle in a very traditional feeling restaurant. So, the wooden panels on the walls and the
Nice.
wooden tables, and
Like
everyone's
it.
looks so happy coming in here because it's so cold outside. You come in, you've got that big fire going up the back for the oven, so it's very toasty and warm in here. These huge meat dishes being served, so very warming to the body and the soul. Man, this is good. So, very warming to the body and the soul. Man, this is good.
We're making our way through this golanka and check it out. All the meat has just come clean away from the bone. Look at this. Absolutely meat-free. Wow. I'm gonna make short work of this.
$25. That was something, okay? The way they were moaning while eating the food, that gave me a lot to think about. The last meal they ate was my favorite. Okay, the last meal they ate in this video was my favorite. That pork, it's so juicy, it's so crunchy, it looks so yummy. Okay, like washing it down with that beer, top notch. Okay, I literally enjoyed this. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section, and I will see you on my besties in my next one. Jakuyen, the Bizinia, which is your favorite meal? All right, I'll catch you guys later. Bye.